Kia ora, welcome back to another episode of Sharpen Up, brought to you by Beard Brothers and Groove Bar. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Follow us on all our social media. We had another great weekend of sport e te whānau, and our manuhiri for today is Tai Tupou. Mihana kia koe, thank you so much for joining us.
Kia ora, thanks for having me.
Oh, excited to have you on to talk about all your mahi and the kaupapa that you do, but also chat some sport with you. But to start us off, can you tell us a little bit about your journey, because am I right in saying that you were an athlete and on your way and you were trying out for the Warriors, you got an injury, and then it kind of just changed the trajectory of, I guess, where your life led to?
Yeah, 100%. I think probably one of the best things that never happened to me was becoming pro at that time, because I think, one, I wasn't mentally ready for it, and two, it led me down this path where I'm, sitting in the seat today, and just grateful that I was able to utilize a lot of the struggle and that journey to start this kaupapa that we've been on, and also enabling young people, our rangatahi as well as our tāne, to not only speak up but give them communication tools so that they can speak up, because we can't tell men to speak but they don't know how to, know. So extremely grateful.
Very important mahi that you are doing, and I love how you just said it's probably the best thing that never happened to you, which we don't usually hear a lot when people are chasing a dream and they don't quite get there. How old were you at the time when this all happened?
Yeah, I was 20, which wasn't too long ago.
Same.
But I was 20, and like a lot of young dudes in our country, I thought that once I become pro, I'd finally get that validation from the old man, that pat on the back that I'd been searching for. And obviously I got the opportunity, and one of the first things that he kind of said to me was, we're going to have to work on your tackling because you missed a couple of tackles, and all these things, and you kind of in those moments, and you're like, man, it doesn't matter what I do, it's never ever going to be good enough for you. So it led me down this journey, and here we are. Yeah.
What was your injury that you had?
Yeah, I snapped my ankle at the captain's run.
Right.
I was due to play for the Vulcans reserve grade, and I just one of the props fell on my ankle and snapped in two places. So
And what was that like for you? Because I had 3 major injuries when I was in my professional netball career, and again a defender fell on me twice and then snapped my ACL. But I've always found it interesting the different paths players can go down when they are injured, and how different it is for tāne compared to wahine, and the way in which the way we cope differently. So what was that like for you when, like for me, it felt like my dreams and everything I've been working towards my whole career had just, I guess, gone out the window and all my world had come crumbling down. So what was it like for you?
Yeah, I guess we're talking about 15 years ago, plus, and, all the mental health side of things wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the support systems and things they have today wasn't there. So I guess also rugby league was a way tougher game back then. You couldn't show that you were injured, or you couldn't, you literally had to be stretchered off the field to cope. But I think the biggest thing was you just had to go through it, because there was no support mechanisms, and if you grew up in a culture where you only speak when you're spoken to, well, you're set up for failure.
Just jumping in, mihi ana kia koe, bro. I was really excited when the bro Jordan told us that you were coming on, but he wasn't. So sharpen up to my bro. But just like to meet you, bro. And you talk about growing up in your culture. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and where your parents are from, and how you sort of got yourself into sport. What was sort of the drive that got you into sport, bro?
Well, my parents were first gen from Samoa to Aotearoa, and I guess like a lot of young polys. We grew up with not much. Like I think about all the anxieties and all the struggles I went through, but not forgetting the ones that they would have had to go through, not being able to speak English, constantly being, suppressed and oppressed by, the environments they were in. But yeah, we grew up out west, home of the brave here in Auckland, Te Atu South. So yeah, I went to Ranger View Intermediate, then I went to Waitakere College. Don't ask me about that. So I'm always proud to be from West and proud to be Samoan. So and then obviously naturally through sport, like I had older cousins and all that were doing really well in sport, and just looked up to them, and I just really wanted to show them that I could play. And I think through rugby league I found my kind of avenue to deal with a lot of the conversations that I was having in my head. So rather than being violent, I could do something legally to hurt other people, or probably hurt myself more than anything in a sport. So, and I think just that competitiveness, everybody I was around, they always wanted to win and be better. So, that's kind of how I got there.
Gee, and taking you to that moment, bro, 20 years old, or about 20 years old, in that moment, what did you turn to give you strength and give you guidance? Because as you tell your story, I think about my younger brother's story, and he was 19 years old and had a concussion and got told he could never play rugby league again. And that sort of took me back to that, and seeing, for him, he turned to our culture, to our reo, and to our tikanga. That was his guiding light. That's what's saved him, he tells us, and he's, on a lot of platforms now and, seen by the world, but it was actually, our own culture that sort of got him through that dark moment. But I'd like to know what it was for you, bro.
Yeah, well, honestly, we could be here all day if I told you the full story. But I guess long story short, there was a culmination of a lot of things that happened all in the one kind of moment. So obviously the injury, but a year later I found out that my dad, who had raised me, wasn't my real dad. And then I'd never known that my whole life, and so that rocked my world. And then not having, I guess, been around an environment where people were talking about these things, it's not like you sit down at dinner and you're like, let's talk about mental health. It's like you didn't have these things. And I guess I went into the dark for about 3 years, went into a really tough spot. And one day I was at Mahi, and I seen a dude called Elliot, and he was one of those, there's annoying people that are happy all the time. He was one of those fellas. And I guess what I didn't realise at the time, and what I later found out, I was depressed. So I was mad at the world, and I was mad at this dude for being happy all the time. And I went up to him and I said, hey man, why happy all the time? It's annoying, get lost, get out of here. And fortunately, he asked me if I was okay. And like a lot of us, everyday life, we're like, yeah, we're good, even though our world's falling apart. And he just stood there and he goes, man, are you sure? Something's not right. And and sure enough, he said, look, man, I don't know what you're going through, but whatever you need, I got your back. He goes, man, I promise you, I'll help you get whatever it is you need. And sure enough, he got me into counselling, which was through the church. And I guess I not only faith but also therapy got me through that really tough time, and I guess the comeback started from there.
True. Just before I throw to Joe, just a partai, bro, because What's counselling like? Because I know for a lot of our brown brothers, we hear counselling and we're like, oh, maybe not. Like, what was your first experience like going into a counselling session, bro?
Yeah, like it took a lot of convincing because I originally wasn't keen on the idea. But I think the thing I always say to the boys, like I work with a lot of athletes today, and I always say to them, like, you go into the gym every day and you bench and you squat and you're chasing these PBs, and what you don't actually realise is that without your mind you can't do it. You do all these things for your body. Why can't you go and bench press for your mind, and get better? And for me, it saved my life, and a lot of the mahi that I do today is a credit to all the amazing therapists out there. And it takes time to get used to it, but like anything, man, like you don't become a pro straight away, and it's a journey. But also not underselling all the other great therapists out there, our coaches, our trainers, hairdressers, barbers, so many people out there that are natural therapists that we don't even realise.
Just listening to the kōrero, I've gone through about 10 different generations in rugby. In my rugby career, so you deal with the young ones, but do you also look after any of the ex-athletes? Because I know once we finish, it takes time for us to adjust to the real world, or what we call the normal world. Do you work with, or what type of athletes or people are you working with?
Yeah, like I work with all sorts of people, business people, athletes, both former and current. A lot of them I can't even talk to you guys about because I think for me I have like such a privacy with a lot of the people that I do work with. But I think the biggest thing for a lot of, if we're speaking specifically about Tāne, is that we invest so much of ourselves into other things, and we don't actually invest anything into ourselves. You think of society as a whole, how a man's meant to go out there. He's meant to, have kids, look after, all of that, but also look after all of that. But they're never encouraged to look after themselves. So when it does come to having to speak, having to, voice exactly where they're at, they can't do that. But I think the biggest thing is that transition, not having a plan. But I think the biggest thing is when you've been doing something for so long, and then all of a sudden it's not there anymore. It's only natural that these things are going to happen. And I think the thing that we encourage athletes the most is to have a maintenance plan, because like what works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. And if you're a busy person, like a lot of athletes now, they're going straight from high school straight into pro, so there's absolutely no life skills or anything that they're learning, because you look at first 15 rugby now, the jerseys are done for you, everything's done for you, like when we were growing up, that was like the chase of playing Premier footy, because you'd get that then, whereas now it's happening at as young as 14, 15, so they don't know anything else. So
I think that's an important kaupapa, especially any athlete really. Tāne, wahine, is just to speak up, or kōrero to someone. I've lost too many mates in rugby, to being to depression or to something, just not being able to talk to someone. And I'm constantly, when one of the boys passes away, or as like that, I'm tired of if there's anyone, if you want to talk to anyone, if we can stop those kind of conversations and make it normal to have a kōrero. I think that's it's a pretty important kaupapa, and man, hats off to you and your mahi and everyone else that's in the same industry as well. So
Yeah, I agree. And while we're talking about your mahi tai, if you could tell us a bit more about that and the Last Chance project, please.
Yeah, so we were founded like in 2022. It all kind of started in a gym. We were just, we're all strangers, dudes, and there's actually 22 founding members of the organisation. And yeah, I think for me, like I just transitioned out of a similar role for another organisation that I spent 10 years at. And then I was kind of, we just naturally just come together, and I think what we realised was that we needed an outlet for a lot of the guys that we were seeing at the gym. And I guess what started was, you know, we started off by having a dinner, and then we ended up having a basketball game, which only 2 people out of those 22 people knew how to play. But we found it as an outlet because I think a lot of what happens in, I guess, in this space is that people are always saying to people, hey, if you're struggling, you should reach out.
Yeah.
But we kind of like wanted to drive a different narrative of why does the person that's struggling always have to do all the work to get to the help?
Yep.
When there's plenty of us that are doing well, why can't we check in? And so we started this thing once a week where it was called a check-in hui. And the boys would come in and would go around the room, and it was a simple kind of a format. You had a traffic light system, and you talked about home life, mahi life, relationship, whatever you wanted to share, but just use a traffic light to say where you were on a scale of green, orange, red. And then that way, like without having to, like, you know, go into full-blown story, the boys in that, I guess, community knew, oh, the bro's in the red. You know, you find your own way to get around them through the week until next week to hopefully try and bring him back to an orange. Because I guess naturally, if you're red at home, you might be green at mahi or vice versa, but the area that is green can get affected by that red that's somewhere else. So, and it just started this whole thing, and then we just decided to go all in on setting up this organisation, and most of us didn't know anything about how to do that kind of process, and sure enough, we built it out of Kirikiriroa, and yeah, it kind of just went really fast because I think it was something that was people were longing for, and yeah, we're just grateful that we are where we are today.
And you're going to schools and sporting teams, etc.?
Yeah, so we do schools. We do a lot of other check-in type hui around the motu. So we do things like gym check-ins, coffee check-ins. So any kind of event in disguise to like sprinkle a little bit of you know, well-being, mental health, and then just to bring people together, you know. And just because you know, we do mahi in the tāne space, it doesn't mean that we lock the doors to any wahine in that, because we believe that wahine are the backbone of our whānau. So we do a lot of our wraparound is based on a whānau approach. So although we do mahi specifically for tāne, we do have resources in that to support the whole of the whole whānau. So.
And have you seen, I guess, changes in the way, maybe like what Joe kind of referred, different generations, or just over the years, how I guess it is more of a conversation, or getting to be more of a conversation? It's not as much of a stigma. Have you seen that grow and change, and people are perhaps finding it easier?
Yeah, I think, you know, we're in a generation now where, you know, it's hard to keep them quiet. So, so I don't think we have a problem there in terms of that. I think now it's just there's a lot more support, but it's also understanding that, you know, like I get calls from parents all the time saying, oh man, it's this social media, or it's this device. And I just say to them, man, it's not for us to, you know, have a crack at how they've come through. It's for us to go into that world and understand how it works, so that we can better support them. You know, so yeah, definitely.
Bro, in your experience, if you could give like 3 tips from what you've seen, and ways to approach a mate, because I think about my circles, and as you talked about that traffic light system, I think about some of my mates, and when I've known they're in the red, I know they're in the red, but I still don't know how to approach it. So over your time, what are some of the tools others have used to get through to their mates when they know that they're struggling?
I guess the most important thing when it comes to supporting someone is that if you're not prepared to throw your own stuff on the table, then why should they? You know, and that's the secret to vulnerability, is that if you're not prepared to go there, then why should they? You know, and like if you're asking me what's wrong with me, like you're probably going to have a problem, you know. Vice versa.
We all got problems, man.
You got 99 problems.
So I think that's the major thing, is always to lead with that authentic way. And I think at the end of the day, if you're aware of something, then you should do something. We always say to people that just because you don't know what to say doesn't mean you can't do anything, because you'd rather do something and not know what to say than do nothing. And I think checking in is really important, because we all have 3 or 5 people that are really close to us, or we're really close to them. And I think the focus needs to be more on looking after them, because we're not trying to save the world out here. We're just trying to keep those people that are closest to us alive. And if we can do that, then naturally, you know, the people around us, they remain safe. But also just reminding people that we're there, and being able to back it up with actions, because, you know, we say things all the time like, you know, that if you need anything, just let me know.
Just give me a call. I'm not going to give you a call, bro.
Whatever you need, you know. But you know,
that needs to go, mate. Whatever you need.
Yeah, I'm guilty for that. But I'm always doing that. Right? You need anything? You're in Auckland? Come see me. It should be If I know they're coming, then get them to come around.
And I think just one final thing is just remembering that the standard we walk past is the standard we accept, you know. And I think for too long in Aotearoa that we've known that something's wrong, and we haven't done anything about it. And like the bro was saying, we're losing too many people every year to this thing. It's like triple the road toll. It's more than the drownings in New Zealand combined, and you still don't even touch the edges of the stats around mental health in this country. So we got to do a better job, you know.
With that being said, is doing a better job like what you said, or is there, what other ways, I guess, can everyone help to make a difference? Or is it supporting stuff like the Last Chance Project?
Yeah, 100%. If you got $1 million, man, give me a call.
Last Chance Project, sharpen up, looking for...
Talk to me, man. Talk to me. But no, I honestly, you know, I think the solution is really simple. We just need to do a better job at looking after our own people, and just being there. Like, you know, we're in a current state of time where there's so many things going on out there, you know, and you can't even talk to some people without it being a debate, you know, and about whatever it is. And I think it's just coming back to, at the end of the day, like it's a human. And it's a person, and if there's something we can do to keep them alive, then we should do whatever that takes to be there. But I guess I always say, not only to our team, is that we have to look after home before we look after the streets. And home could be your haora, it could be your mind, could be your whānau, it could be whatever, because if the home base is not sweet, then how can you be whatever it is that you need to be out there? And what does well-being look like? Well, it's looking after yourself, because how can you be that person and they look at you and you're not that person? You know, so.
Can I ask them, bro, if you don't mind sharing, how do you look after you? Because I'm assuming, and my sister used to do mahi like this, and she'd come home and it's quite heavy, and a lot of the stories can be quite pody. So how do you and other people, I guess, who do the mahi that you do, how do you look after you as well?
Yeah.
I guess the most important thing I share with a lot of other people that are in this space, or just people in general, is that one, it's not my job to fix people,
Yeah.
and it's not my job to take on other people's problems, or give them advice. Like, I give recommendations. So whether you do it or not, I'm still gonna have a sweet sleep at night, you know,
Yeah.
because I've given it over to you. Whether you do that or not is completely up to you. In terms of looking after myself, like a lot of people, gym,
Yeah.
every morning. Without the gym, I'm not a nice person, and I know that, so I do that. Barbershop every week. Anyone that does do that, they'll understand. Like, there's a feeling, you know, that you get from looking after yourself, and then the third thing is the work that we do. Like, this is my life, you know, and whether I get paid to do this or not, I'd still be here doing it, because I was once that person that was on my last chance.
And then you met Elliot.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy Elliot.
I was going to say, because in the intro, they introed you as an ex-athlete. So, bro, you look at you now, you still look like an athlete.
You do.
And I was going to do the part I was like, what else? Are you doing any other sport, or is it just the gym and this mahi?
No, man, we always have like crazy things going on, like fundraisers. Like, we had a fundraiser this month, 100k fundraising effort across the motu, where people either run, bike, or walk 100 kilometres, and then once you hit your 100 kilometres, you donate $100 to any mental health organisation across the country, because we know that there's a lot of organisations that are struggling, you know, to not only pay their own bills, but also support our whānau and our communities, which is what they were designed to do. So we thought, well, if we can do that to try and highlight other organisations, not that we got heaps of money or anything, but if there was more people out there doing it, then you know, we could keep more people alive.
If I knew that was on in my 7-week challenge, I would have done 200 keys, $200.
And talking about, you know, bro, like, what are some of the barriers that, you know, is it funding? Is it, what are some of the major issues that you're seeing, you know, in the space, in the mental health space? Is it like disconnection? Is it addiction? Like, what sort of what are the main issues that you've come across in your time?
I guess like the biggest thing that I've seen over the years is that like, for example, like every year we lose over 550 people in this country, and over 400 of them are men. So that's like over 70% every year. And if you look deeply into it, a lot of the men's side of things is to do with relationships. And it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, is that when we invest everything we have into that relationship, once that relationship has ended, we think that we've ended as well. You know, so that's why it's so important that we start building up not only wahine but also tāne, like internally, so that, hey, these things happen, like it does happen, you know. And I guess in the society we're growing up in today, like there's a lot of you know, blended whānau and stuff like that, and it's understanding that not everyone is raised with a mum and dad, or a mum or dad, and so the dynamics is crazy. So you know, just having that internal I guess belief and system goes a long way. And you talk to a lot of people, a lot of it's around validation, and but I guess there's endless things. You know, we could go on and on and on, but I think the big major thing is that we just, if we can if we can say things when people are gone, we should try and say it while they're still here.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at life, people are always there at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah.
But in the living part,
Yeah.
you know, people are just too busy.
Yeah. I love that idea.
Hard.
Having a tangi one while you're still alive. No point coming before you're quartered or when they're dead. Or like a celebration, you know.
They could make whai kōrero e tangi shorter.
Yeah. Already heard it, eh?
You've already heard it. You've already heard it.
Well, you should have come when they were alive. Too late. Momo or kōrero.
Well, Bro, can you tell us about what mahi and kaupapa you have coming up that we can look forward to and support?
Yeah, so we've got the Festival Rugby League. It's coming up down in Rotorua.
In a couple of weeks, right?
Yep.
2 weeks,
I think next week, yeah. So Jordan, who told me to come here.
The ghost.
Yeah, so
Kawere Sally.
yeah, he got me good there. Yeah, so he's going to be featuring in that game as well. So
October 11th?
Yep.
That weekend.
So there's 3 games, sorry. So there's a 17s game, which will be Kenny Edwards. He's got an
League
academy.
Kings, eh?
Yep,
Yeah,
League
yeah,
Kings.
League
So they'll be
Kings.
playing against an invitational
Cool.
Bear Plenty team. And then there's the RCP Lions, which is us, playing an invitational team from down there as well. So hopefully those guys aren't too serious, because our team's not looking for serious. And then obviously the Aotearoa Māoris and the NRL Legends or League of Legends team is playing as well. So it's going to be heaps of former NRL players playing there, and we've even got some former ABs and Sevens players playing as well. So
great kaupapa to get behind.
Yeah.
You'll be down there?
Yeah, hopefully I'll be playing.
Actually, got selected to play in that one, but I had to say, aroha mai, I'm away that weekend.
No, yeah, but I pulled my hammy in the weekend, so...
Again?
Yeah, again. Yeah, so... And some of the players in your... So it's not just footy players, it's also some social media stars and different people.
We took a different approach. Like, you know, we've heard a lot of influencers and union players in the past say that they'll be mean at league, so we're about to find out.
Show me.
Okay.
Montel was on here a couple of weeks ago, so we'll find out. Yeah.
He wasn't on here. He started the show.
I think last time he played, he had a red card and got the biggest ban in history.
Yeah, true, actually.
So yeah, we've done a check on him whether he can actually play or not. So he's passed.
Mean.
I'd actually like to see old Jordan play.
Yeah.
Well, unofficial breaking news. We might be taking the podcast there. If Pity turns up.
I might have to cut my golf trip early then.
Nice. All right, well, we look forward to that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bro, for sharing with us all of that. And just make sure everyone follows you on social media and the Last Chance Project. But now we're going to switch gears and talk about the big weekend of sport that was. We've got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
I'm going to start us off.
Neti poro.
Yes, a huge statement from Grace Wickett and the Silver Ferns just last night, live on TV. Grace looked straight down the camera. She was interim captain. We just beat South Africa by 1 goal. Great work by South Africa. But Grace looked straight down the camera and said, "We love you, Knowles. We want you back." She was almost brought to tears. She said, "It's been hard for our playing group. Thank you to Yvette and Liana who came in and helped them out in this time." But I think it was huge of Grace to do that. And I think we forget she's only like 22. And just she even got interviewed and then said, "Oh, I've got more to say," and just they gave her the mic, and for her to stand there and do that, and I think show her vulnerability too was huge. And just I think everyone rallied behind the Ferns, and I think everyone's glad they've said something, and now they know where the Ferns stand. Joe,
It's probably good timing or appropriate timing to do it right at the end of a series. And get the win. Three games, but it was like something out of a movie. if you're watching it,
Yeah.
and she's like looking at the camera to say what she said. But hopefully New Zealand netball and that hero,
Hopefully.
and yeah, can put this behind us before
Yeah.
we play the Aussies.
Australia.
Yeah.
And I think that's like with your mahi type. It's important, like Joe said, hopefully Netball New Zealand hear them. It's important to listen, right? And to hear. It doesn't matter who's saying it, to hear what is being said from the people who are in the situation at that moment.
Yeah, 100%. I think listening is probably one of the most powerful things when it comes to these sort of situations. And I actually read about that this morning, and you know, I'm here for it. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Uppy, you couldn't believe it when Grace did that last night.
It's courageous. Courageous knowing, as a former athlete, I know what it's like in those circles.
Yeah.
You're told what to say, what to do,
Yeah.
what to lift, just what we spoke about before. And it's courageous to go out, and you could see the emotion on her face. And I'm mihi to that, you know. And as we were speaking, you know, the mental health of that group, of Knowles, of everybody involved is should be mātama, should be most important. So I thought that was huge, and I really have respect for her for stepping out
And
like
that was similar to Sam Kane and that when
Yeah.
when Fozzie was going through his through his raru with the ABs, and you know, he had the support of Sammy and his playing group. So yeah, that was awesome to see.
Yeah, so I guess now.
Yeah, but it's just like too many, just like what we spoke, too many athletes in the past, I think, have been silenced.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and we talk about speaking up. So that's a great example there
Yeah.
of not being silenced and speaking your truth. So we got to encourage more of that. You know, she might get in trouble. We don't know what happens behind the scenes. Hopefully not. But
Surely
that's,
not. Surely not. You don't get in trouble for that.
You never know.
You
Well,
never
that's the thing. We don't know what's
We
going to
don't
happen either. Like, what do they?
Don't growl it.
Yeah, don't growl it. Does Knowles come back even after all of this? Like,
But I think we said would Knowles like to come back.
I think
You know what I mean?
after hearing that, I think Knowles would have always wanted to come back, but obviously all the rari that happened. But hearing that from the players and from Grace and it being so public, I think she felt that aroha, and hopefully. Hopefully she comes back. Just to wrap up the netball, congratulations to our baby Silver Ferns, the New Zealand under-21s
saw
who
that.
got silver at the Netball World Youth Cup. Just this morning they lost the final to Australia, but a big congratulations to them. Right, sticking with our wahine toa, our Black Ferns, they beat France in the Rugby World Cup bronze medal match, 42-26, and then our first ever Sharpen Up guest, Braxton Sorensen McGee, won the 15s breakout player of the year. I mean, she was just unreal. We can talk about it all day. We might even have to get her back on the podcast. But even after winning that, like we were just congratulating her on our socials, and she still had the time to just thank us all. And you know, it was huge for us to see her get that recognition, and the Black Ferns to go home or come home with the bronze, Uppy.
yeah. She's a superstar now, so I don't think we'll get her back on. But we cracked it. We got her in
the first one ever.
But you know, what a year for Brax. It's been an awesome year, and to our wahine, bronze is still a huge achievement. They're still out there repping their whānau, their hapu and their iwi, and making us proud. So big mihi to our Black Ferns.
Yeah, Tai, what's it been like for you getting to see our Black Ferns on the world stage, and I guess everyone over here supporting them from afar?
Yeah, no, I love the coverage.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, like, congratulations to them for getting the dub on the bronze. And speaking about that, I'll call it Brax now, so that must be. Nah, she's awesome, man. She's such a gun. Watching her play, it's been a while since we've seen someone so naturally gifted, and the way she moves. So it's cool to see, like, especially all the young players.
Yes.
I was actually at Waikato versus Auckland on the weekend, and man, there was like 16, 17-year-olds running around. Crazy. Man.
Yeah, it's incredible. And you speak about the younger generation coming through, and there was a point on the broadcast, Joe, where Portia was on the sideline, but they're also saying, is this now the changing of the guard when you've got these younger gen coming through, and you see the ones like Portia who are so happy and full of pride and joy, but also tears because they also kind of know, wow, this has been an amazing ride.
Wow, I'm like that. I look to the side and I can see the young ones coming, but you don't want to give it up. You just don't want to give it up.
You're like those papas on the pie, bro. Give it over, man.
But the difference is that you got a player like Brax who's actually come in and taken it. It's not been, you know, she's come in and challenged Portia, who's been like unreal for the Black Ferns, for Sevens for so long. It hasn't been Portia's finished and then someone's just coming in. Whereas we got players now that are actually pushing our top players, not to retire, but to be like, okay, my jersey's in a safe position now.
Yeah.
We can hand it over. That's why I haven't handed mine over.
Oh, you're still waiting.
Someone needs to show you, eh?
But Brax does join a pretty big list, a pretty awesome list of Black Ferns and All Blacks who have won that Breakthrough Player of the Year award. Which is, big me to her.
Yeah. All right. Sticking with rugby, and you spoke about coming in and taking it. You wanted the Wallabies to come in and take the Bledisloe.
Yes.
They didn't
They
do
didn't.
it.
They didn't.
So,
Didn't want
so
to.
are you happy or?
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Oh, you are happy.
I am happy. Because remember, I did clarify.
Yes, you did.
I did say I'm a massive All Blacks fan, and I will be disappointed if they lost. But if Aussie came and if they come to play and took it, then I'd be happy as well. But obviously they didn't want it.
No, they did
didn't.
not.
And the mana of Eden Park is still intact.
I know, that was incredible. Daytime rugby at Eden Park. It was at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. All Blacks beat Australia 33-24. But a moment before the match was when they were doing the anthems, and Eroni Clark, he sang the national anthem, which neither. And Caleb, when they were panning, and Caleb was crying, but then he looked and saw it was his dad. He actually didn't know, which I found incredible. And Eroni had messaged the whānau group chat just before he went out and said, I've got a big surprise for you, whānau. And I think what a moment for all of them.
Pretty special.
Yeah, very, very special. But I mean, and then Caleb was first try scorer, a great day. But I mean, it was pretty special to see that whānau moment.
Yeah, that's up there. Eh? I'd buzz. If my dad did that for one of my games, I'd be like, but he cracked it. He was mean, and fully kept it surprised. The whānau didn't know. So, that is content, eh? If you're looking for content,
he looked like he enjoyed himself singing it too. Like he didn't look nervous. He looked like he really got into it, which was pretty cool.
Tai, did you see it?
Yeah, I did. I know that he's on the board of New Zealand Rugby too, so we were just joking around that, oh man, the singer mustn't have come through, and then he was like, yeah. Because even I was shocked, and I've known him a while, and when I see that, I was like,
he just jumped the fence.
What's the fee? Oh yeah, I got
oh, he's singing. What the heck? Even I didn't know that. So
did you know he could sing?
Nah.
No.
So I was buzzing, and I was like, man, this is crazy.
No, just incredible to see, and even hearing Caleb talk about it after in the interviews, how special it was, and just, for the whole Clark whānau. But just quickly, they'll go to Perth now, Joe, and they'll play over there. Your thoughts? I thought Cam Rogard was incredible.
Yeah, good having Cam back.
Yeah.
Played unreal. And funny story about Cam. So he was like a little skinny guy when we were playing for counties, just playing club rugby, played for Onewhiro. But when you first met him, you wouldn't think he would become an All Black. Like he would have been 70 kgs, dripping wet, and just never. He was a race car driver.
Really?
Like he was like a stock car race car driver.
Wow. And
you just never thought you'd see him become an All Black, but just seeing
showed you.
Right, he showed me. But then you saw the dedication he put into becoming the starting halfback for counties, and then getting the call up into the Canes, and then just the way he progressed, they were like, oh man, now that's the story
That is the story.
our youth or tamariki can look up to. You don't have to be the biggest club player, or you can
Hard work and belief.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, moving on to the NRL, and I'm heartbroken. My hometown team, the Panthers, lost to the Broncos.
It's not
and
my fault.
Joe, you put a tattoo on them.
Not my fault.
I asked you to wear a Broncos jersey today, which you haven't done. But Tai, you watched this game. Your thoughts on this one?
Oh, I love to see it, eh? Like, it's about time someone's knocked the Panthers out.
This podcast's going so well till you said that.
No, I love the Broncos, and I think after the season they've had, like in the media and everyone, gas bagging their coach and all that, like it's an awesome reward to see, not only for the players but everyone that's involved in the organisation. We did some stuff there last year, and not to say that's why they're going to the grand final or anything, but hey,
They're going to send
give
you
me a
some
call,
tickets to the grand final.
So it was cool. It was a mad game as well, especially to finish like that. It was cool.
Bro, and saying that you did some work with them, what is the goal? What would be your ultimate goal to, what athlete group would you want to work with if you got to this, to pick?
Man, I don't think I have any like aspirations of that kind of nature. I think it's I don't look at people's status or like those things don't excite me. I think for me it's just the thing that excites me the most is seeing someone that was in the dark finally seeing the light, and just overcoming and seeing them bounce back, because when people bounce back, like you can't buy that stuff, or you see someone finally believe that there's a life worth living, or something that's it's just the game, it's just the title. Like I've worked with athletes of the highest level even still today, and like my kids will buzz out about it, but not me. I'm just like, they're just.
It's just the bro.
I'm just wondering why I'm still buying them coffee, but
They're not buying me coffee.
That's just Brax.
Did you hear what he said? It's just the game.
It's just the game.
It's just the game. But I was going to wear a Broncos jersey today, just because one of my whanaunga commented and said, can I wear a Storm jersey and put a tapu on the Storm jersey? And I was like, nah, I'm going to go get my old man's Broncos jersey, because he's a Broncos supporter. Also, Kels is a Broncos supporter. Went to the house and my dad said, Carl, those jerseys are tapu, and he didn't want me touching them. So
He's a smart man.
Yeah.
The other game of the weekend, Storm beat the Sharks 22-14 as well, Uppies. So I guess my question is, Storm v Broncos, who have we all got for the grand final this weekend? And why?
Storm.
Storm look good. Storm look really good. Broncos are the young, exciting team at the moment. It could go either ways.
And they were there, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. But before that, I want to meet the Panthers. 6 grand finals in 6 years. And they're not over, according to their coach and their star player. So, enjoy the off-season to the Panthers. And I'm going to pick the Broncos for this weekend.
Ooh,
what about you, bro?
Ooh. I think my heart says Broncos, but my mind's saying the Storm. But I think the Storm will get it done.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think the Storm could take it, but they just need to keep say they get in the lead, they just need to keep the foot on the throat, as they say, because the Broncos are the comeback king.
They are. And they know they can do it.
Yeah, and they know they can do it.
They did it against the Raiders. They did it against the Panthers.
Yeah, but this is my whakaaro. Have the Broncos used up all their free tickets?
I hope so.
Walsh and Ben Hunt, they did it against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Reynolds did it
Yeah.
last night. Have they used up all their get out of jail free cards. I don't know.
Does it give him more confidence?
I'd like to mention too, what a year for Cam Munster.
Yeah.
Winning
Losing
the
his papa,
Origin, losing his papa throughout that period, and the opportunity to win a grand
And
final is huge. Yeah.
What's Craig Bellamy's record? 11 final series.
Yeah, something crazy.
Some say, and he's a Raiders. He was
True.
a Raiders player, so I'm going to go for the Storm.
True.
Oh, nice.
I'm going for the Storm too.
Stormman, we all would.
Especially with Jerome Hughes back.
That was unreal.
Yeah, he's great. And then maybe I'm just thinking, if the Storm win, does Craig Bellamy finally retire? I don't know.
He's waiting for a coach to take it.
Yeah, he is true. He's waiting
to
for
show
it.
me.
Sticking with our rugby league, and a big mahid to the New South Wales Cup Warriors, who beat St George for their maiden premiership. They won 30-12 after losing to them in the first final just 2 weeks ago. Big celebrations, but not too big, because they got to take on the Burleigh Bears. They play grand final day this weekend against the winners of Queensland Cup.
Cup.
Yeah, big me to them. And I know, Bunty Afor was in there, 10-year plus warrior.
Yeah.
Some pretty good stories. Kalani Goring spoke about in the last few weeks. And, we're just really happy for that group getting the W. And, they'll go and play in the big dance next week. So, it should be pretty exciting. But the stink thing was...
I've got it written down, but
we couldn't watch it.
Oh, really?
I was trying to stream it.
Try and watch it as well.
That's annoying, eh?
Yeah.
It's like streamed on Bar TV.
And you have to buy a subscription and yeah, it was...
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, so we were
Yeah.
trying to find it, but we just couldn't. So we're hoping, because New South Wales Cup used to be.
Yeah.
So this weekend, with it being on grand final day, it should be,
be on
hopefully.
it, yeah. Don't they have a number of games on that?
Yeah,
on
and they'll have
final
the
day?
NRLW final will also be
final.
on. And then, Q Cup, New South Wales Cup, main game. Yeah.
Nice.
So it'll be a big day on Sunday, everyone. And to finish us off, UFC was on in Perth. Then City Kickboxing, we spoke about it last week. The next generation coming through. Carlos Solberg, Navajo Sterling, Brando Pericic and Cam Ralston all won out of City Kickboxing. So a big congratulations to them. And Michelle Montag, who is also the first New Zealand-born wahine in the UFC, she won. So it was a huge day for all of them. And what's crazy, Tai, is Coach Eugene Behrman, who obviously is the best in the world. So they fought literally yesterday in Perth. He was at City Kickboxing Gym this morning taking the morning class. I mean, you speak about mahi. That man knows how to do the mahi, right? He just loves it.
Yeah.
It was incredible to see. And a coach like that, dedication. And like you said, Tai, I feel like it doesn't matter what level of athlete he's coaching, he's got time for everyone.
Yeah.
Which is important.
Humility, eh?
Yeah.
Just no status. Have you tried MMA or martial arts, bro?
No, man, I don't.
Yes, that man.
want to get hiding. I've seen some of those guys and what they do, and it's never wanted me to, strap up for that. Can run into people, but going in there and purposely getting a hiding, it's not something I want to do.
You got to be a different breed for that.
Yeah. Different.
But a big mihi to them. And just locally, we had our 10s, 11s and 12s Māori Rugby League, Aotearoa Māori New Zealand comp on the weekend, Api?
Yeah, I saw it all over social media. Huge competition. It's getting bigger and bigger. Just love seeing the smiles on all our tamaraki's face, and leading their haka for their teams or scoring tries. So a big shout out to Aotearoa Māori Rugby League. The numbers are ridiculous.
When I was looking.
Over 80 teams, I think, and it's all a lot of volunteer mahi. So I'd like to mihi to our whānau who are, providing those opportunities for our kids. So.
Tai, what's that like for you? You've got kids, but also when you see our kids and the volunteers of whānau all being involved in sport and just getting out there on the weekends together.
Oh, I think it's massive. I had one of my nephews playing in there, and and I was talking to someone this morning that was involved, and they said the best thing about it is everything run on time and was so organised. So,
Shout out to all the volunteers.
shout out to all of them, like those Pacific ones. Sorted out.
All the adult Māori ones.
Could learn something, but
Everyone playing in the right age group.
Tongans.
Crack up.
But no, that was beautiful to see. So a big mihi to everyone. Right, to finish up, we have our sharp as or sharpen up moments. So give everyone a bit of time to think about theirs. My sharpen up moment, I've got two, but I might drop one. But my first one is the Ryder Cup has been on the golf, and the fans have just been giving it to Team Europe. It was all over social media. And I think, Joe, you're nodding. I feel like it was a very shocking display from the American fans, like swearing at the golfers on Team Europe, especially Rory McIlroy, and even to this level at which they're saying stuff about his whānau, his wife, and all that kind of stuff. I think it was just horrible to see, and I'm glad that Team Europe actually won and kind of threw it back in their face.
That's what I was hoping that Team Europe would come through and beat the Americans just because of that. It just makes sporting, you can have sporting banter and sporting rivalries, but I think that took it to a new level. Yeah. Especially when you don't see that in golf.
No, usually it's quiet.
Yeah.
So that's my sharpen up to all those fans who were misbehaving on the weekend. And then my other sharpen up moment, which you'll probably all laugh, was the referee for the Broncos game. I think he listened to the crowd too much, and I'm pretty sure Nathan Cleary was in the air with that tackle. But anyway, it was a sharpen up, and I'll move on. I'll let it go. Let it go.
It's not over.
The dynasty's still there.
That's me. Uppy.
My sharp as moment would have to go to Grace.
Yep.
That moment last night was a brave moment and a courageous moment. So that was pretty cool. As a fan of netball, watching that and watching an athlete step out of her comfort zone and lead like that was pretty cool for me to see. My sharpen up moment goes to Air New Zealand because we went to play in Bulla in the weekend. So we flew into Nelson, bus 4 hours to Bulla, bus 4 hours back. Joe's shaking nose. He knows this roller coaster. And the next morning, the boys flew to Wellington and their flight got cancelled, so they had to bus from Wellington to Gisborne, which was 9 hours. And some boys live 3 hours from there.
From Gisborne.
So it was over about 20 hours on a bus for the boys. So Sharpen up in New Zealand.
We've been through that. Been through that exact same situation. But I got a sharp as moment. It's more of a shout out to my niece, Scout Fisky. It's my best mate's daughter. They've been in the States for a couple of weeks, but she's got offers from Texas State or Michigan to go and be part of their rowing program. So hopefully to
get her on.
Yeah, well, we might have to. But once she signs whatever college she goes to, then hopefully she can come back to Aotearoa and then become one of our maybe Olympic rowers. She was a good netballer.
Nice.
As well, but she's gonna take up rowing. Yeah.
Awesome.
So shout out to Scout.
Nice. Tai, any sharp as or sharpen up moments?
Probably sharp one would be I saw at the end of the game yesterday Nathan Cleary doing all the autographs and giving away his boots and that long after everyone was gone. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's always cool to see athletes investing time into the supporters. And probably sharpen up would have to be like probably the bunker, eh?
What specifically?
It's not the first time.
Yeah.
No, we agree, bro. We all agree. But we thank you so much for joining us and sharing about your story and also the amazing mahi and the kaupapa that you do, Last Chance Project. But thank you so much for joining us and sharing a bit about yourself.
Thank you. Thanks for having me,
Nice.
too.
Sure,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Amazing. Thank you to all our listeners and to our sponsors, Beard Brothers and Groove Bar. And that's us for another week at Tefano. See you next week.
Cheer, cheer.
Sure.